Welcome back, Constant Reader. This time I'm reviewing Stephen King's short story collection, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. This book is 686 pages containing 21 stories. The first story is Mile 81. At an abandoned rest area on I-95, an old muddy station wagon pulls in, and the driver's door opens with no driver. A good Samaritan stops to help, and one by one they are consumed by what appears to be a station wagon. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The second story is Premium Harmony. A man and his wife argue over his smoking and over her overeating. And they stop at a convenience store to buy their niece a ball for her birthday. The wife drops dead in the store. I rate this story a 4.5 out of 5. The third story is Batman and Robin have an altercation. A man takes his Alzheimer's-ridden father to lunch every Sunday at Applebee's. And on this day, they get into a traffic accident and road rage ensues. I rate this story a 4 out of 5. The fourth story is The Dune. An elderly ex-lawyer and judge, since the age of 10 years old, has been canoeing daily to a little island off the coast. He is now 90 years old, and every once in a while, the island gives him an advanced obituary. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The fifth story is Bad Little Kid. A condemned prisoner, a week before his execution, tells his story to his lawyer. Why he had to murder the bad little kid. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The sixth story is A Death. A posse comes to arrest a man for the murder of a 10-year-old girl and stealing her birthday silver dollar. The evidence is his hat found with the dead body. I rate this story a 3.5 out of 5. The seventh story is The Bone Church. It is a poem about deaths of explorers in a jungle. I rate this a 2.5 out of 5. The eighth story is Morality. A man and his wife who are in financial trouble. The man's substitute teacher and the wife is a nurse who works for an elderly reverend who has suffered a stroke. Offers the nurse $200,000 to commit a sin so he can be a sinner through her by proxy. I rate this story a 3 out of 5. The ninth story is Afterlife. A man has just died of cancer, faces the afterlife, and has to make a choice. I rate this one a 4 out of 5. The 10th story is A literary teacher in a small college in Kentucky decides to try out some new technology and buys a Kindle reading device, but ends up getting way more than he bargained for, with ties in to the Dark Tower. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The 11th story is Herman Wouk is Still Alive. Two single mothers with a brood of kids set out on a road trip and come across an elderly poet in the worst way possible. I rate this story a 3 out of 5. The 12th story is Under the Weather. In a man's mind, his wife is feeling under the weather. In reality, it is much worse. I rate this story a 4 out of 5. The 13th story is Blockade Billy. An old baseball manager tells the story of a ringer catcher that joins his team in the 1950s, exciting the fans until some unnerving reality is revealed. I rate this story a 3.5 out of 5. A great twist at the end of this one. The 14th story is Mr. Yummy. Two elderly men in a nursing home find out death comes differently than a cloaked hood and skeleton. I rate this story a 4 out of 5. The 15th story is a poem called Tommy. A hippie friend dies of leukemia, and his hippie friends attend his funeral. I rate this one a 3 out of 5. The 16th story is The Little Green God of Agony. An extremely rich man who was in a plane crash and has suffered in bed for a long time calls in a preacher to cure him, but his physical therapist nurse has her doubts. I rate this one a 5 out of 5. The 17th story is Cookie Jar. An old man tells his great-grandson the story of his mother, who went insane, but as it turns out, she was more sane than anyone knew due to the secret of her cookie jar. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The 18th story is The Bus in Another World. While stuck in traffic, a man in his taxi sees a man on the bus cut a woman's throat. I rate this story a 3 out of 5. The 19th story is Obits. A writer gets a job at a website that pokes fun at celebrities, and his job is to write their obituaries and running them down. One day he discovers if he writes advanced obituaries, the person dies. But there are extreme consequences that follow. I rate this one a 4.5 out of 5. The 20th story is Drunken Fireworks. A mother and son who have a shack on the lake get into a yearly 4th of July firework contest with the rich family across the lake, ending in disaster. I rate this story a 5 out of 5. The 21st story and final story is Summer Thunder. A man and his dog are living in the post-apocalypse, starting to feel the effects of the radiation. I rate this story a 3.5 out of 5. Overall, I rate this collection of stories a 4 out of 5. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe to my channel for loads more book reviews. And thanks to all my viewers and subscribers, and until next time, keep reading.